What's up, beautiful people? And welcome back to Sincerely Sigh, a space where we're going to slow things down, get honest, and explore the types of conversations that we typically only have with ourselves. Now, tomorrow we have Thanksgiving, and something that's been on my mind really heavily is this word gratitude. But I'm not talking about the Instagram kind, not the everything is perfect, the I'm so blessed, postable kind. Mainly talking about gratitude when your life isn't perfect, gratitude when you're still healing, gratitude when you're still in transition, gratitude when you're still pretty much figuring yourself out. Because if we're being real, life rarely shows up perfectly perfectly aligned with the holidays. Sometimes we show up to these seasons not from the highlight reel, but really from those in between moments. And what I want to talk about today is exactly that. Gratitude is not perfection. I used to feel a little bit guilty on holidays if things in my life weren't neatly wrapped. Like I wasn't allowed to feel grateful unless everything was exactly perfect. But here is what I'm learning. Only 10% battery or whatever. But here's what I've learned. Gratitude isn't supposed to be a report card. It's not proof of perfection. It's not proof that your life is flawless, and it's especially not a performance. Gratitude is simply acknowledging the things that carried you through the parts that we don't post. And it's the small anchors, the quiet wins, the unexpected pockets of peace, and the moments that you didn't think you'd survive, but you did. Gratitude isn't about perfection. Like I said, it's really about my favorite word, presence. Speaking of being present, so this year was a becoming year for me, a year of almost endless transitions, reinventions, healing, and starting over. And becoming is a very messy process. It can be vulnerable, it can be uncomfortable, and you don't always feel like you have something to show for it. But even in the mess, there were things still holding me together. The discipline that I didn't always want but still showed up for. There was a softness that I learned to choose, a clarity that came after breakdowns, the peace that I'm consistently fighting to maintain, the relationships that stayed, ones that I've had to release, and lessons that absolutely hurt but still helped me grow. Gratitude lives in the middle of all of that, not after it's over. Life often comes with this pressure to pretend that everything is fine, everything is peaches and cream, especially around the holidays in some groups. A lot of people feel pressured to show up happy, to be smiling even when life is really heavy, to be grateful even when you feel completely empty, and sometimes to celebrate even when you feel completely disconnected. And if that's you, I want you to know that you're not alone. That's almost all of the human experience. You're not broken for feeling complicated feelings at a time that is supposed to be textbook joyful. And you're not failing at gratitude because your heart is still tender. And you're not behind because your life doesn't look like a Hallmark holiday movie. Your humanity is not something that you really should be hiding. And sometimes the most honest form of gratitude is simply, I'm still here, I'm learning, I'm trying, I made it through the things that I never talk about, and that counts. And really, it should matter to you. So what I found works is choosing to find gratitude in these small, quiet spaces. And gratitude really often isn't loud. It's not always dramatic. It's not always this big cinematic thing. Sometimes it can be completely subtle and soft and whispered. It looks like a peaceful morning or a deep breath when you finally allowed yourself to take one. boundary that you honored, a meal that comforted you, a laugh that completely surprised you, a moment that you could be proud of, a night that you slept well, and a day that just didn't break you. So gratitude isn't always going to be fireworks for you. Sometimes it's as simple as warm candlelight in a dark room. And one of the most uncomfortable forms of gratitude, I think, is being thankful for what ended, for the things that you had to walk away from, for versions of yourself that you completely outgrew, and even for relationships, habits, dreams, and stories that you had to release. I understand it's hard to be grateful for loss until you realize it created space for you, space for your actual truth, space for more healing, space for softness, as I always talk about, and just space for you in general. And sometimes the most powerful gratitude is a thank you for leaving, because now I can finally become in peace. So, on the eve of this holiday, if I'm being honest about what I'm grateful for, it's absolutely not perfection. For me, today it's growth, it's clarity, it's sticking to the discipline behind my softness, it's the strength in my vulnerability, it's my body, not just how it looks either, it's about how my body is carrying me through life. It's my mind for choosing to heal, my spirit for learning to rest, the courage to start over, the people who show up for me, the lessons that I've learned from the ones who didn't, and the version of me that fought for me as long as it did before anyone else did. And above all, I'm grateful that even though life isn't perfect, I'm still becoming something and someone that I'm completely proud of. I want you to know that it's okay that your gratitude looks a little different this year. So if you're listening to this right now, or if you're watching, the holidays can feel complicated. Just give yourself grace. Gratitude does not have to be loud. It doesn't have to be pretty. And it absolutely does not have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. So thank you for tuning in to this special episode of Sincerely Sigh. Thank you for sitting with me and breathing with me and allowing yourself to feel whatever this season brings. Until next time, take care, take your time, and let yourself breathe. Sincerely, Sigh.